What up?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Kind of enjoy these, man. A lot of people don't like to work in the evening. I don't normally like to work in the evening, but this is less work and it's more fun.
Man, it's funny you say that because the other day, matter of fact, earlier today, my daughter was in the room and she was pouting. And I'm like, what, baby, what's wrong with you? And she's like, I don't understand why you need to do all of these coaching calls. And I'm like, listen, baby. She's like, why you just can't have an easy job like mommy where she don't work on weekends? I'm like, first of all, today a weekday. Second of all, I said, I don't always feel like doing the coaching calls.
Right.
But when I make commitments, I have to keep my word and still show up and execute the way I need to execute. And my kid's the mom was like, that's a really good teaching moment for them because, you still gotta show up even when you don't feel like doing things. Because
Ronnie G showing up.
yeah, I mean, even like you, bro. A lot of people don't know. Like, we ain't got to go into details, but you just got out of the hospital. Like, you had some things going on, and you could have easily been like, "Hey, D, got a lot of stuff going on, bro. We got to cancel tonight." But you still showed up and you executed.
You know what, man? We do it for the people, bro. I'm blessed. I'm incredibly blessed, and I feel a little bit chosen to do this, man. So if I'm giving in easy, how can I coach other people to not give up when times get tough?
You feel me? Look at you in the Atlas ghetto. Look at
Gotta
you in the Atlas
rep
ghetto.
the partners, bro. Sometimes it's about propping up the ones around you that support you and not so much about propping up your own brand. I know you big on brand. Maybe we should speak on that for a second. But I feel the love from Atlas, man. They're a great partner. And they got great products and they got an excellent team for sure.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to Atlas because I used to be with GAF, went through some situations, and they decided to no longer partner with me no more. And I was cool on it because I wasn't tripping because I was still doing my thing before I met GAF. And then, you built a beautiful relationship with Atlas. And, you was like, hey, what's up, Cap, man? What's up, baby? How you doing, big dog? But you built that beautiful relationship with Atlas. And then I did the event with them in Pittsburgh. And then they just had the ABCs of Success over in Georgia. And they wanted me to come represent for Atlas, not come as roof hustlers, but come as, you know what I mean? And I came representing for Atlas, and we had the most packed room at the ABCs of Success.
Always.
Yeah, we shut it down. And we're official, which I talked to Josh today. He's like, you can make the announcement on Instagram, which I want to talk to you about that, get a little flyer made up. But we officially the Best Hustler Academy and Roof Hustlers are official partners with Atlas.
That's right.
So if you're an Atlas contractor, you can use your Atlas bucks. You can use all of these things to purchase our academies. You get discounts on trainings. You get all of these benefits of being an Atlas contractor. So I'm excited about that. Big shout out to Josh Van Dusky. Shout out to, what's his name? Stan?
Stan the man. Got him over there. Jeff, Director of Marketing. The whole crew, man.
Whole Atlas.
Warren, Tierra, all of them. Nicole. Great people, man. Just genuine. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I know some of the other manufacturers, they've reached out to me too, right? Because we got Best Roof Marketing and they've wanted to know, hey, what does a partnership look like? What can you do for us? And Atlas was never really like that. They were like, how can we help each other, man? So it's good to have them. So I wanted to rep their gear tonight, show a little love. But yeah, man, I'm excited to chop it up. And I want to get some interaction tonight, get some chats going with the guys that are following, streaming online about top trades. What do you know about it?
Yeah. So obviously we talk about these topics before we get on. And you know what inspired this? I'm pretty sure you already know what inspired this. But what's her name?
Which one?
That messaged us in the group chat. She asked me the question, do you got anything about traits of top performers?
Oh, is that from Modern Built?
No, she messaged you and I in the group chat. She's doing a newsletter.
You stumped me, bro.
Literally recently. Remember on the plane?
Amanda.
Shout out to Amanda. We got to make sure Amanda get her love and respect.
Yeah. Sorry, Hattiesburg. There we go.
Yeah, and when she
I was blanking, man. I've been up for a couple of days.
I'm like, I've never did a YouTube episode on that. I've never sat down and talked about that. And it's a phenomenal topic. And I'm like, why not talk about the traits of top performers? Because I think a lot of people don't know what it takes to be a top performer. I think everybody want to be a top performer, but they don't understand the traits, the principles, the mindset that goes into being a top performer. And I think some guys are top performers and they don't know what makes them a top performer.
Right.
They just do their thing, right? That's what they listen. I just do my thing.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm a firm believer, Bruce. This is just me. The number one trait every salesperson should be developing and building is raising their level of awareness.
And don't give them any more yet, because we got to tell them tonight's just going to be the teaser. Where can they come get more information from us in November? Jared wanted to throw some stuff up.
No, I seen it.
So we got to tease it, right? We're working on the live streams.
Yeah.
Let's tell them where to go, and then we'll jump in tonight. But you want to go ahead and take this one, or you want me to hit it?
November 13th and 14th, Atlanta, Georgia, baby. I'm from Florida. Bruce live in Georgia. So we felt that as the happy medium, baby. It's a lot of roofers over there. And if you live in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, it don't matter where you live at. If you live in that little region,
fly in. A flight's a flight. It don't matter.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the Delta hub, baby. So you can get a quick no-stop flight coming to Atlanta. And walking to Atlanta with a play. Nah, I'm just playing. But anyway, so listen, Atlanta is going down November 13th and 14th. The Best Hustler Experience. This will be our first event that we put on.
The live event. Yep.
First live event that we put on.
Private. It's not on the flyer, but there's a private members only, Academy members only dinner on the 12th. So we're going to be bringing them in early. It's going to be fire, man. We got some really good stuff lined up. I'm super excited about this.
And it's going to be an experience. Look at Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. You the one that inspired this call.
AD, it was the other Amanda. I got two of them. I'm very blessed.
All the Amandas.
Two Amandas in the house. Yeah, that's
the Amanda show, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, thank you, Ronnie.
Ronnie Jesus supporter, man. We love that.
Nah, he be hollering at you boy on Instagram too, so I want to give him a lot of love. But it's going down. We're doing it different than anybody else. We're not going to be on stage just talking at you. It's going to be an experience. You're going to have to interact. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to stretch yourself. So that's why it's called the Best Hustler Experience, and not just whatever event.
Yeah,
we want y'all to come and get an experience, because once you get an experience, it's going to change your life, right? We're going to transform you that weekend.
Yep, that's it. And, I would say, and then we'll drop the fly and we'll jump in. It's not that you're taking your hand off of Roof Hustlers. Well, I'm taking my hand off of Best Roofer Marketing. But we got one hand over here in the glove box getting some stuff done on this live event, man. And we got a lot of stuff, weekly meetings going on, a lot of prep work going into this. Shout out to Coach Nick. He's running a little late tonight. He's trying to jump in.
He about to get on here.
I know. I'm excited. But, yeah, it's gonna be fire, guys. Just know that you won't get a better training and experience for $200. And the ticket sales are going to be streaming soon. They're going live on Monday the 24th at besthustleracademy.com.
You spent $200 at the bar.
I know.
You spent $200 at the bar.
You spent $200 on a bad steak.
You feel me? You spent $200 when you go out to eat. So to spend $200 and come out and get some education, information.
And camaraderie. Learn from other roofers as well, right? I mean, learn from other people. It's not just going to be the Deshaun and Bruce show. We're going to have guest speakers. We're going to have activities. We're going to have a fun evening event. It's gonna be a lot of good stuff, man.
Your level of success is always tied to your level of exposure.
Right.
And shout out to my guy Justin Miller. He just commented in. That's my dog. He's a top performer. So tonight gonna align with you.
Yeah.
First year in the roofing industry.
Comments, guys.
First year in the roofing industry, he did $2 million.
Say that again. Say it again.
First year in the roofing industry did $2 million.
Ooh,
first year, no experience. And
I know who I need to go to when I gotta borrow a hundo.
You know what I'm saying? Watch the Roof Hustler videos. Great student. Tap in with me consistently. We do coaching calls. He's the epitome of a top performer. So I want to give my dog some love.
Epitome of a hustler.
$2 million. Yeah. Went and then left Connecticut, went to Texas in a way more tougher environment and still doing his thing, man. So listen, your level of success is always tied to your level of exposure. That's why you got to go to events, expose yourself to other top performers, other people doing it at a high level, and it will naturally raise your performance being around those type of people.
That's right. Amen, bro. So let's volley. Go ahead and hit us up, man. You said the number one. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to tease that. So let's get back into the thick of it. The number one, hit them with it.
Oh, yeah. So the number one trait that I feel like sales reps should be developing as a whole is raising their level of awareness, right? Because everybody uses this famous line. If you played any level of sports, they say, once you raise your level of awareness, the game slows down.
Right.
And it's not true. The game stays at the same speed. you could just conceptualize it faster. You know what I'm saying? Like
comprehension is quicker.
Yeah, you could step into a room, an environment, get in front of a door, step into a room, like I'm in the kitchen table with a homeowner, and everything just go just real fast, and you done seen everything. Pop, 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 pop. I already know what I'm getting myself into, and it's not that door knocking has sales in general. Let's just say sales hasn't gotten easier. You've just gotten better because you've raised your level of awareness, and now you can see things that you couldn't see before. So that is a trait that I'm constantly helping sales reps, like, hey, raise your level of awareness, raise your level of awareness. Because once you raise your level, because remember, I used to play Madden. If y'all used to play Madden, and I never understood it. They used to be like, awareness. What the hell awareness mean? I was so ignorant back in the days. I used to play Madden, put my injury on 0, put my awareness on 100, and I used to be confused why my dude got hurt all the time. I didn't know you put the injury on 99 so they don't get hurt, and you raise your level of awareness. Look at this good-looking man coming in here. Well, you come back from vacation, but anyways, when you raise your level of awareness,
he was shaving, he was getting clean for us.
You raise your level of awareness on 99.
Yeah,
you make different plays on Madden that players who are awareness low can't make.
Yeah,
right. So, Nick, I don't know if you heard the topic, but what we're talking about tonight is the traits of a top performer. You are one. You got some on your team. So we want to help people understand what it looks like to be a top performer, right? If you aren't, Morrisville in the building. Daniel, what's cracking, baby? I just trained him this past weekend. That's my guy right there. He want to be a top performer this year. So this is a beautiful call for him. So what we want to talk about, Nick, is how to understand if you're a top performer, the traits that you possess. If you're not a top performer, the traits that you need to possess to get there. And we're going to break this thing down. So since we got the three amigos here, Arriba! I want to go ahead and
Woodford, let's go.
I want to read the definition of a top performer. And then I took down 9 traits, what I deemed as a top performer. And I'm pretty sure y'all got some that I didn't say, and we going to wax, right? So like Nick like to start off with a quote, I like to start off with definitions. The definition of a top performer is someone who is capable of and interested in driving the business results you need, someone who will take responsibility for getting results within the norms of your company culture. Someone who will take responsibility for getting results within the norms of your company culture. So I hear that as like whatever the norm is, they do everything above that. They do everything extra. They do everything that they don't get paid to do. They do everything that you can't coach. They do everything that you don't tell them to do because they want to be a top performer. So I can either kick it off. Y'all can kick it off. I can give y'all my first trait, what I feel like somebody is that a top performer, and then we can go from there. And then y'all can give me some of y'all. I know, Nick, you probably got you a top performer, bro. So it's just in you. You just let it come out you. You know what I mean? You don't gotta have no notes, right? He ain't a top.
Sounds good. Yeah, you go. I'll go. Pick a go. We'll round robin this thing.
All right. So the first trait, I got some other ones, but I'm gonna bounce around. I ain't gonna go in order. The first trait I deem as somebody who a trait that a top performer possess is they're coachable. They're coachable. Even though they're great, they develop an attitude of growth, and they always looking for opportunities to get better. They never resting on their laurels, and they always seeking mentorship, always seeking guidance, always seeking help. Because when you're a top performer, you understand it's the inches that take you to that next level, and it's not big games.
Yeah.
That's just me. Now, if y'all want to unpack that, let's unpack it.
No, I mean, do it. You know, in my sales career, I think about when I was at my peak, it was at web.com before I became national sales director. And you know, I had a routine that was locked into the minute, right? I was up every day at 5, out of the shower at 5:30. I worked from home, so I didn't have to be, but I wanted to get all of my admin out of the way by 8. So then customer-facing time was customer-facing time, no excuses. And I got to the point where throughout the day, I started working less and making more because my little wins, my little gains, my system was so dialed in that the pressure was off. Does that make sense? Like,
Makes sense.
I remember getting recognized at one of our national sales meetings for President's Club or whatever. I won like a monthly contest top in the country. And the regional sales director said, I think it's probably 3 or 4 days a week that Bruce puts actual jeans on and not his basketball shorts because he doesn't leave the house unless he's going to close money. Like I could so pre-qualify by phone because I had my system locked in. I knew what I was doing. So yeah, man, I mean, that's what it is though. So many people want to get the quick result, but not do the daily efforts, the daily grind consistently to achieve that. So they're thinking about that old adage, the cart before the horse. Man, I want to get this paper. Oh, the paper didn't come on day 1. It's not easy. Oh, day 5 is here. And oh shit, it's really not easy. Right? But I still want the result. But now I'm starting to get discouraged on the work. So the brevity in that is you got to remain consistent and trust the process.
And then we'll let you get going, Nick. So the way I look at it is like the greats, the best of the best. They're not looking for huge gains. So I look at Josh Allen as a prime example, right? And then we could talk about like personal life, but I look at Josh Allen as a prime example. When he was playing with the Bills like year 3, he was like pretty good, putting up good numbers, but he would throw the ball and he had really bad arm pain. And they couldn't figure out why he had this arm pain. So he hired Tom Brady's coach, or a coach that's connected with Tom Brady. And what the dude taught him was his arm was beating his hip. Like his arm would go farther and then his hip would follow up.
So he was out of line.
He was already performing at a high level. And he's like, you know what? I'm putting up good numbers. I'm scoring touchdowns. We're making the playoffs, but I'm still not as great as I can be. So instead of him having the ego of like, I got this, I figured out, he hired a coach. And the coach that he hired taught him like, hey, you throw your hip first, arms come second. And that's when his passing stats started to improve, right? So I go around the country, and as y'all know, I coach and train door-to-door sales reps. So Nick got a guy on his name named Brandon. What's Brandon's last name?
Thrower.
Love Thrower. Phenomenal guy. Just the epitome of like the ideal sales rep. Just a phenomenal sales rep. And when I come to train, he's the top rep for Hero, right? Correct?
Yeah. He's
the top rep.
Christian's giving him a run for his money this year. But yeah, I mean, but they're neck and neck.
How much is Brandon doing a year?
He do about $2 million.
He's 2 years ago, 2023 did right at 2.9, and then last year did about 2.5.
Oh, just 2.5. God,
just 2.5, 2.9, right?
Slacker.
You know, his contract average was like $8,000. So, I mean, we do
how many deals he closed to get $2.5 million.
Yeah, closing ratio is 54%.
When I
you think about an $8,000 deal, he's the kind of sales guy that leaves no stone unturned.
And
you're not going to buy a roof, you're going to buy a repair. You're not going to buy a repair, I'm going to sell you a doorknob.
He's going to sell you everything. When I come out and train, Thrower is the most eager to sit down with me. Mm-hmm. Best at the company. First one to like, I'm excited to sit down with you, bro. I want to know where I can get better at.
Yeah.
I want to know what parts of my game I need to improve on. Like, I know I'm performing, Deshaun, but it's the little gaps in my game that I'm trying to figure out how I can close these gaps and go to that next level. And that's the epitome of a top performer, right? Like, they prioritize being coachable, because once you get to a place where you're no longer coachable, you're going to get stagnant. Mm-hmm. Your numbers going to stop improving. You're going to start going on the decline. So I think one of the top traits is coachability. And based off your experience, Nick, phenomenal roofing company. If y'all don't know Nick, he the owner of Hero Roofing.
Newton, Georgia.
The fucking man. And I shout out to Nick, saw the highlights of you at the gym today.
Getting it on, man.
Look at him. But let us know how you feel about coachability. How you feel about coachability and how important you think that is when it comes to being a top performer.
Yeah, for real. I was just saying, Ronnie, I think is the same gym as me. And it is more rare for a male in America to have a six-pack than be a millionaire. So I told my wife my goal's to be both, so she can, she's one of the rarest men on the planet is the thought process there. Even if I only have it for I'm doing 75 hard. So even if I only have it for 24 hours, because as soon as 75 hard, I'm pretty sure I'm going to
it's a photo shoot though. Yeah. It's a photo shoot coming.
But when we talk on coachability, I think that's the premise of a lot of the Hero, what's built the business is very early on, I invested in coaching for myself. And, I remember the first time I met Dimitri was when he was doing those roofing business classes where he would go and just rent out like a room. And I think it was a Marriott in Atlanta, and met a lot of the Roofing Insights people. I mean, that was 2019, 2027, somewhere around there. And so I've seen coaching early on because, my thought process, Deshaun, is we can never stop growing. There's, if you're going to be the best, you have to consistently strive to improve. And so we've always hired people with that same mindset. And, even on Monday, I say, the production guys, they want consistent evaluations. Hero, we try to do them at least biannually, twice a year. And we're going to start doing them quarterly. And the production guys really want evaluations that make sense. They're more paid off the job site, they're hourly, they get bonuses for hitting certain criteria. Sales guys are commissioned. They normally don't want evaluations. They don't want to be critiqued. A lot of guys want to be critiqued that have that personality. Rob says every salesman's we're all divas to an extent, and I agree to that. But Brandon was the guy that no, he's like, I want an evaluation. I want you to sit down. I want to sit down with you, and I want to go over, what are my flaws, what are my pros and cons, like what am I doing really well, where are my gaps, so I can hit that next level. And this whole top performance comes around, like we've all read for those who've read the book Relentless, being a cleaner. To me, that's a top performer. To me, that's Brandon Thrower. That's Christian, and that's a couple other guys. Is like they're going to leave no stone unturned. They're going to continue to strive for best. They don't have to wait for me to come to them on Monday to give them what they need to know, to give them the coaching. They go after themselves, and it takes a consistent mindset. You said consistency, Bruce. Like that's any top performer, you have to be consistent. Because sales guys, I see these roller coaster performances, and Deshaun probably sees it more than everybody. That he shows up at a roofing company and trains that company, and for like 2 weeks, everybody's fired up and they're doing the process. They're knocking doors and they're killing it. And then a month later, they're back to their old ways. Like they're just doing it. They don't stay on that consistent grind where that cleaner, that top performer, they're going to be, they're consistently doing the same thing, and they're consistently seeking coaching to grow. Like we cannot stay the same person. I always say, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Amen.
Same amount do the same thing we did last year, we did less.
Yeah.
So
the greats are looking for inches, dog.
Yeah.
Chris Brown got a dancing coach. Beyonce got a dancing coach. Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls, still had a coach. Denzel Washington, phenomenal actor, got an acting coach. Like the greats are coachable, and the reason why they stay coachable is because you can't see your own gaps.
Yeah.
Like you can't see your own gaps. Like me and Nick, some of y'all don't know, but me and Nick like brothers. He been working with me since I first started Roof Hustlers. And most companies that bring me out one time and they like, we good. Mm-hmm. Nick brought me out 3 to 4 times because he knows, he's like, Deshaun, you can see things that I can't see with my sales team. Come out, help me close these gaps so we could continue. We just had a training last year and he had a sales rep on his team, and I'm like, he about to quit. I'm like, I just want to give you a heads up, X, Y, and Z. I'd be damned if 2-3 days later after I leave, the dude quit. Mm-hmm. And Nick, I've never ran a roofing company, but Nick like, hey, I'm coachable. No. Come in, help me out so we can do what we need to do. So, Mooresville, what's up, AJ? So that's the first trait. They coachable. Let's go to this next one. What y'all feel? I'm gonna let y'all carry it. I got 9, but I don't want to carry it. I'm gonna let y'all get some talking in. So
I want to jump on that one you just said a second ago. I think it's important about Tom Brady. Tom Brady with the 6 Super Bowls, is it? Mm-hmm. You know what Tom Brady never, ever, ever strapped up his cleats for and played for? The money.
Amen.
You got to play. When I was at my peak, man, I was winning every contest every year, top 1, top 2, top 3. And they would say I played for the glass. I never played for the money. So I think it's really important to have that competitor's edge and just want to win, want to be the best, want to be the top guy, want to help the most people, whatever that looks like for you, instead of playing for the money. Because if you're in it for the money, you're probably bad with your money. So you're always – I'm serious. The first year I won I made $200,000, I was like, God, that's a lot of money. But I stayed within my means. And then it went up, and then it went up, and I stayed within my means. Most people won't get ahead. Most people are paycheck to paycheck, month to month. So they have that stink of desperation because they're doing their whole business model for the money when it should never be about the money. If you make it about something else, the money will follow you. You just got to find what that is, whether you want to compete, whether you want to do it for somebody else. But the money should be chasing you if you're doing it right, for sure.
Amen. And that's just a universal principle. Hustlers. I just had to do it for you since you wrote it. My bad. But anyways, let's go to the next trait. What y'all feel? I got 9, but I'm gonna see what y'all say.
Well, I think we all kind of dance around being consistent. We were talking about that. I think that's one of the traits of being a hustler is consistency. And then,
would you say consistency falls in the same category of being disciplined?
I would. You have to be disciplined to be consistent.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure because one of my traits is they possess high levels of discipline.
Self-discipline, particularly.
What'd you say?
I would say self-discipline.
Okay.
So what does it? So what does that look like to you, Nick, as a top performer, or maybe some things you know about one of your top performers? Like, what do they do consistently that the average person that has come through your organization doesn't do?
When I think about discipline, it reminds me of martial arts. And I grew up in karate, and my first big influence in my life was, we call him Mr. Joe, and he would teach the difference between discipline and self-discipline. Discipline, we got to be told to do it. Me as a company, I was going to say, hey, make sure you go.
Whoa. don't just dance past that. Say that again.
That's good.
Discipline, we have to be told.
Discipline is what?
We have to be told to do it. And self-discipline is distilled into us to do it without someone asking. To go the extra mile.
Yoshi Joe, I love it, bro. That's awesome. That is fire right there.
And as a company owner, I can tell our guys hey, you need to go knock 50 doors. And let's say they did it because I told them to. It's different for the high-level performer to go out and knock 50, 100+ doors on his own because that's in his, it's distilled in him to do that because that's the things he needs to do to be successful. So I think that, and you have to be self-disciplined to do the same thing consistently. When you were the last Zoom call, talking about that girl wanted to wake up and go to the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she may do it on Monday, but she can be self-disciplined enough to get up every single day, no matter what.
We'll find out on the next call.
For her goal.
Yeah.
And I think about that and everything. We have to be self-disciplined to knock doors when it's raining, to knock doors when it's not raining, knock doors when we're already $200,000 into the month, we've paid all our bills, and everything is fine and dandy. We still got to be self-disciplined to knock doors.
Knock doors when you make a sale. That's when you don't take your foot off the gas. That's when you go get a 2, or we call them a hat trick. I get mini hat tricks where I get 3 sales in a day.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's what motivated. It's like a pitcher on the mound. Either you're on that day or you're off that day. And if you get a sale, you're on. So don't go your ass home or to the bar. Go sell somebody else and then sell somebody else, right? Let that fire you and fuel you. I love that.
And I love that, Nick. Self-discipline is me telling you what to do. Self-discipline is you doing it on your own, being autonomous. And top performers, they read on their own. They study on their own. They go to events on their own. They hire coaches outside of their own company on their own. They seek mentorship by themselves. They put notes in the system by themselves. They create their own system within the system by themselves. Because they okay, the discipline is I do what the job tells me to do. The self-discipline is I do the things I need to do to get me to where I want to be. So when I was selling, my company used to put me in shitty neighborhoods. I said, cool. I would sit down every night till almost 11 p.m., 12 p.m. Yes, ma'am. I would sit down until 11 p.m., almost 12 p.m., looking up neighborhoods, find my own neighborhoods to go to. We had crappy shirts. Went out and bought my own shirts. Got them embroidered up. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to feel good when I knocked doors. Then I got to a point to where I'm like, you know what? I'm on these doors. People looking at me crazy. Made my own name tags. Had my own name tags. Got to a place to where I was like, you know what? I want to create a distinction between me and my other people, I went and got my own business card made, right? Started reading my own books, started going to my own conference, started paying for my own coaching because I was self-disciplined enough to get up and do the job I needed to do without somebody telling me what to do. Because my dreams and goals was a powerful enough pull to where I didn't need you to remind me of what I told you I wanted to do in January or February.
And you never made excuses. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick. I'll let you go first. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, what you just said, your why is pulling you to do that. That's keeping you self-disciplined. And that's kind of like what Bruce was saying. You can't do this for the money. It's about like, what's your why? What's your purpose? What are you trying to achieve? You know, we all, you know, money is a tool, you know, and it's learning what to do with it and what that achieves for you. You know, if your goal is to buy your family a house, you know, your why, that has to be so powerful to drive you to hit that financial goal to do that and to stay self-disciplined, to stay locked in at all times. And that's going to, you know, the money is you're going to make it that this year. And then what are you going to do next? You know? And so I think whatever that why is, that's what keeps people consistently locked in.
The champions, Deshaun, this really resonated with me, what you just said. The champions make no excuses. And you made no excuses, right? The average sales professional would have said, well, I cannot be successful because I do not have my name tag, or I do not have a nice shirt, or I do not have this, that, or the other, right? They will make excuses why it is somebody else's fault to inhibit their success. When you said, I don't care, spend my own money. I got to go be successful because I have an opportunity and I'm not going to make an excuse over XYZ. I'm just going to go get it done. And I think that's a big mindset thing right there, that champions make no excuses. The average person makes excuses why they're not hitting their number.
Amen. Amen. So we got coachability. They're consistent, which means they don't just do it. They're consistent and disciplined. They don't just do it once. They do it year in and year out. And like Nick said in the book, Relentless, he said this in the book, which I love. You had a good month. So what? It's 11 more. You killed it this month. 200,000. So what? It's 11 more months. Right? Consistency. Can you put up 100,000+ month in and month out? Or you just did it 2 months, hit it down. And the reason why you're not consistent is because you lack the discipline to get up and do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So
they bask in being one-hit wonders. I remember I killed it that month last July. You heard that?
Oh, they love to say that.
Boy, I killed it 18 months ago, man. I was the top dog. I had $1 million month.
You remember what I did last month? Bro, that shit over with.
They can tell them fire pit stories, bro. Get a six-pack.
Listen. Y'all sound like a Cowboys fan, but we won Super Bowls in 91, 92. Bro, that shit, what are you doing now? Are you consistently killing the game? We on year 5 of Roof Hustles, and every time I get in front of a new group of people, I'm like, I'm about to blow their damn mind. I don't live off of what I did last year, 2 years ago, right?
It's like
they got coachability. Matter of fact, look at Nick. Nick been killing the game for the last 4-5 years, and his company get better every year, consistent. And
every January starts at zero.
Zero, baby. Go to sleep. How they say? Go to sleep tired. No, wake up hungry. Go to sleep in business again.
That's it. No matter how many projects we sold last year, we got to do it again.
Who cares? Right? So we got coachable, discipline. I'm gonna give y'all another one I had. I thought this one was nice, and y'all kind of touched on it, so it's a great segue. They got a bulletproof mindset. Top performers have a bulletproof mindset. They have the ability to handle high levels of adversity without falling apart. They're resilient, they persistent, they courageous. And when it comes to the pursuit of their dreams, it's never too high, never too low. They possess high levels of mental toughness. And for the record, I wrote that shit myself. I didn't Google that. So just in case y'all was wondering.
Go ahead. That's not a Chat GPT special.
I wrote that shit. No Chat GPT. That's Deshaun Jones. Right?
But it's very relevant. You know, I'm not getting into details. You brought it up at the beginning of the call. So I'll say I was in the hospital the last couple of days. I had a little minor spat with my wife because she's saying, you know, you got to rest. And I was like, lady, please bring me my computer. Like I also run a multi-million-dollar business. I got to take care of my kids. I got to get stuff done, right? I got great customers like Nick. I mean, we got to keep these guys afloat. So in all seriousness, though, yeah, that was a real thing. She's like, man, just lay back. I can't just turn off. And it's not because I didn't rest, right? I take care of myself first. Look at Amanda D chiming in with jokes. So,
hey, Amanda, I wrote that shit.
So, but yeah, it was a real thing. It was like, hey, I need my computer, right? I'm still in business. I'm still alive, and my heart's beating, and I got to take care of the family. Like, what I'm going to do? Just dump it on somebody else? So I'll leave it at that. But I think that's very relevant to what you just mentioned.
No, I agree. I think bulletproof mindset. It's, you know, I joke. I say I probably have as much gray hair as Bruce, and your beard's looking sharp, by the way.
Thanks,
Bye.
You know, people in a roofing company, something's always on fire. You know what I mean? Like the owners, like the firemen, they're always dealing with an issue or a problem. And people, you know, they'll come to me all panic, and I'm like, "That's cool. Just let's handle it this way." I'm like, why are you so okay with that? Like, as an owner, as a salesman, you have to be able to walk through fire calmly because something's always going to happen. And the biggest thing I can tell anyone is like, why get stressed? Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean this. It's something you have to practice, but stress solves nothing. Being worried about a problem doesn't solve the issue. And so I've always taken it as like, you know, let God handle if it needs to go that far, but handle the situation appropriately. You can't go back in time. So if something's went wrong, you know, and that's the way we have to walk. We have to have that bulletproof mindset to walk through the stressors and to do the things we don't want to do, even when no one else is doing them. We're still going to do what's right by the business or by the, you know, as a sale or whatever that is, because that's that consistent self-discipline bulletproof mindset.
Amen. So
can I respond to that?
Yeah, go.
Sean, I got one.
I'm gonna wax. So yeah.
Get a sip and then come hard with it. So listen, Nick, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And here's what I would say. Going back to my original point about you cannot be a top rep and wake up every day thinking about the money. Because the number one thing I think the sales reps get wrong is they wait. I'm about to roll it up. You ready, Deshaun? We're going to twist it. They start smoking the hopium because
there we go.
They waste time chasing people that are not going to do business with them. Right? And the reason they do that is because they feel like somebody giving them their attention and having a conversation with them means that they're going to buy from them. So when they have that bulletproof mindset, the wherewithal, and it's scary in the beginning, to walk away from people that are wasting your time, to respect your time more than your money, you start to really crush the game, because then you focus on finding people and opportunities that are real and tangible that are going to close faster. I'm not saying don't follow up. I'm saying have the wherewithal to walk away when you know somebody's jerking your leg.
Amen. So my whole brand is built off mental toughness. We teach you how to sell and grow and, you know, sales tactics, strategies, and principles to be great. But the biggest pillar that I operate in is mental toughness more than anybody in our industry. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think nobody else is tapping the mental toughness the way that I do. And it's because I'm a firm believer. It's in my quotes. Once you get your mind right,
get your grind
you
right.
can get your grind right. And your grind don't peak because your mind weak, right? And
I'm sorry, your boy said Deshaun GPT, baby.
You feel me? I've learned every top performer in any industry, they develop mental toughness at the highest. Kobe tore his Achilles, still showed up and shot 2 free throws. That's mental toughness. Kyrie Irving, few weeks ago, tore his Achilles, did the same thing Kobe did, showed up to the free throw line, shot 2 free throws. I was in Illinois 3 years ago, sciatic nerve on 10. Couldn't take 5 steps without having to sit down and stretch and do the whole 9. Worked the whole weekend with a sciatic nerve, and it was bothering me at the highest levels. And when I tell you, like, on Sunday, this team was like, we don't got no excuses. Like, we just watch you work with a whole sciatic nerve this whole weekend. So you have to develop a bulletproof mindset. First and foremost, some of y'all mindset shitty, right? All you do, I just got to be real with them, Nick. Your mindset trash. All you do is talk yourself out of things. All you do is say how things not going to work. All you do is talk about how it's a waste of time. It's this and that. And it's like, you have to develop a mindset that understands that ABC, always be closing. No, adversity builds character. The most shit you go through in life, the higher chance you got of it succeeding at a very high level, right? So top performers, one thing I've learned that they do more than anybody, when life throw them curveballs, they hit home runs, right? When the same year I wanted to make $300,000, same year me and my kids and mom went through a separation, I still made that 300 grand, still did 30 plus trainings, still showed up. Why? Because the mindset so strong that when life give us lemons, we make orange juice and let the world sit back and wonder how the hell we did it.
Yeah.
That's a bulletproof mindset. When life give you lemons, don't make lemonade. When life give you lemons, make orange juice with it. And let the world sit back and wonder how the hell you did it. Right?
Hey, Jared, in the background, copy that one. We're going to have to get a social post on that one. That's a quote worth sharing.
We need to make that a t-shirt. Right? Right there. Life give you lemons, make orange juice with it.
Let's get you animated look like the Kool-Aid man, but it's orange juice.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So how do you be resilient? How do you be? Listen, mental toughness is being persistent, going to somebody else 10 times until they finally say yes. What is courage? Courage is doing it while you're afraid. That's courage, right? All that falls under the premises of having a bulletproof mindset, and that's what top performers do. David Goggins, people love David Goggins. He went through suds with broke shins, right? Like, you still gotta have the mental toughness to deal with the. I tell everybody, the fair thing about life is it's unfair to everybody.
Right.
The fair thing about life is unfair to everybody. But the people with the mental toughness to keep pushing through are the people that achieve at a very high level. I always tell people, Nick, I love people that ain't been through no adversity. I'll destroy you. You ain't been through nothing. I'm going to kill you, right? So, coachability, self-discipline. We got to put the self in front of that. We can't just say they disciplined. They're self-disciplined. They're their own boss. They tell themselves what to do, and they listen to themselves, and they don't listen to that quote-unquote bitch voice in their head that tell them to get out of things when they want to run. Third thing, they mentally tough. Bulletproof mindset. Willing to deal with angry homeowners, people that run off with checks, they go get another deal. Homeowners say, you know what? We're going to take the check and run. They said, cool, close 2 more deals, right? Like, just got that bulletproof mindset. In the hospital for 2 days, could have easily opted out. Boom, showed up anyways, right? Nick over there, 75 hard. He probably tired. He probably on a no-dose right now. Still showed up, ready to go. I'll just play. He ain't on no no-dose. But he still showed up, ready to go, right? Mental toughness. I got another one that I felt like something that top performers possess in our industry. They good communicators. I feel like top performers, top sales performers are good communicators. They prioritize how people prefer to receive information. They understand communication isn't what's said, but what's understood. They practice understanding people so they can best serve their clients.
I would say top performers, because you added self to discipline, change good to excellent. Got to be excellent communicators, because
there we go.
Good communicators is where the average plays. I 100% love the statement you just said. Say that again, the one about prioritizing the way people want to receive. Say that again.
Hold on. Excellent communicators. They prioritize how people prefer to receive information.
So many sales guys and gals want to sell their way. They do. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm a fast talker. I got to get all my parts out. I can't stop and listen. I have to say this even though it's irrelevant. So they're very robotic. And what I'm hearing you say is excellent communicators are equally as good listeners as they are speakers.
Amen.
Yeah, and two things on that. One that kind of goes on something that I know you teach, Deshaun, and we all cover is mirroring, right? When you communicate with someone, it's good to know how they're communicating back, so you can kind of speak their language, if that makes sense. The other thing, I mean, even something we start to do from the time a customer calls in and needing their roof taken care of, we ask them, and our sales guys ask too, what is your best? How do you like to be communicated with the best? We ask, like, do you want us to email you? Do you want us to call you? Are you somebody who works, in a government facility all day and you can only respond by email? Or do you want us? Are you a guy that only wants to talk on the phone? Or are you a texter? We want to know how they communicate from the beginning. So, some of these sales guys, they'll call a homeowner to the blue in the face and never answer. You email them one time, boom, you got an answer and a digital contract signed. So I think that speaks on both of those. It's like I will openly ask someone how they like to be talked to, how they be communicated. And of course we have a consistent process that our sales guys follow every time when they sit down with a customer. But one homeowner may want them to go through detail by detail that slide and show them everything about that shingle and go into the specs on how long we've been in business. The next homeowner just wants to look at the color, sign a contract, and go. They don't want that full 1 hour spiel. And be able to communicate and pick that up is, it takes a lot.
Amen. I want to speak from two perspectives. The first perspective I want to speak from is when I wasn't a top performer, when I was just flying by the seat of my pants, and I didn't care about communication. I just wanted to get my side off. I just wanted to tell you what I had to say and cool, and then move on. And I used to be at every door, extremely enthusiastic, extremely energetic, and I thought that's what made people buy. And then once I started studying communication, I'm like, whoa, I've been living in a whole different world, right? And one thing I've learned about top performers, they prioritize communicating and learning the art of communication. And one thing I've learned about communication, it isn't what you say, it's what people hear. So I feel like top communicators, they look for clarity, which meaning they'll say something and say, does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Also, they'll hear the homeowner say something, and a top performer says, help me understand what you mean by that. What does that mean? Because I tell cats all the time, your wife will be like, you need to spend more time. And you'll be like, okay, so now you just sitting in the same living room with her, and you like, we spending more time. A high-level communicator says, what does that mean to you? Because we need clarity. Where there's no clarity, there's no execution, right? And nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes clear. Another thing top performers do is what Nick said. Don't let that go over your head. How do you prefer to be communicated? Do you like email? Do you like to talk face to face? Do you like what is that you enjoy, so I can fill your cup, so you can feel understood, so we can execute at a high level, right? Another thing communicators do is, first and foremost, they make it their responsibility to understand all the different types that people like to be communicated with. That way, when I run into it just a little bit, I can become aware of it and start giving them the information that they need. Because average, like I said, a good communicator can wing it for a good amount. Top performers understand that, oh, this is what this person likes. Then I step into their world first. Then I bring them back into my world. So we got clear, concise, productive, aggressive, directional, destination communication. And another thing top performers do when it comes to communication, they get rid of unnecessary words when it comes to communicating with people. They don't say, you feel me, you know what I mean, you know, you got me. No. A top performer understands that brevity is confident, length is fear. So how can I get my message across in a way that's understood, clear, concise, precise, directional, destinational, without using a bunch of unnecessary words when it comes to communicating with people? So I've just learned that top performers understand how to communicate at a very high level. And I used to be a person that sucked at communication. Communication was everything that I was saying. And I learned that communication is everything that they hear.
let me just add one little one to that. So you called out a point. One of the things you and Nick both said is you ask for clarity. How do you like to be communicated with, et cetera, right? I think excellent communicators also are very good at providing clarity. And you're a perfect example of that, Deshaun, but I'll use a couple of phrases. So unlike Nick and Deshaun, I don't sell roofs daily. I sell roofing company owners or marketing directors on the daily. So providing clarity to me sounds a little bit different, but it's the same thing that it should be for a roofing sales professional. Setting proper expectations, eliminate the guesswork. So I'll tell people all the time when I do my first discovery call, if I think they're a good fit, want to move forward, they ask for a proposal. Hey, I'm going to get that to you, and I'm not going to try to close you today. But what I am going to do is all I ask for my time and the research we've done is I'm going to ask for a disposition. So let's set up a call to give you however many days you need to think about it, 2, 3, 7 days to think about it. And during that call, we're going to get clarity one way or another. If you choose to go with somebody else, fine. If you don't show up, I'm not going to chase you. I'm just going to assume this is a lost opportunity for you, not me, and we're going to not move forward. But you have to set clarity on the next steps or the expectations with the homeowner, because we always assume that they know what the next step is, and we don't tell them. So if you don't preset moving the ball downfield, the homeowner might think ignoring you for 2 months is table stakes because they've just been busy, right? And it's not top priority. But if you said, like Deshaun says, hey, we're going to meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I'm going to be at your house, and you're going to tell me what's up. That's providing clarity, not I'll follow up with you and let you know after we research your company, and then the sales rep says, okay, sounds great, here's my card, right? That's not clarity. So you can be suave with your words. You may not use the ums and uhs, but you're still not an excellent communicator if you're not providing clarity as well as asking for it.
For sure.
Amen.
I like that because you think the roofing sales process or any sales processes, think about like a pinball machine. We're the bumpers, and the customer is that pinball, and they make their own choices and they pick what they want, but we got to keep them in the rails, or we got to or maybe bowling with the rails up.
The guards
with the bumpers, baby.
We're the bumpers, and we got to kind of help steer them in the right direction and where they're supposed to be going, and not let them steer the ship. And something we even talk about in our sales, with our sales staff, is setting the standard with the customer. When the customer calls in, Erin answers, and she says, all right, here's the next process. We're going to show up at this time, and we're going to get in your attic. We're going to get on your roof. We're going to do this, this, and this. This will take about this amount of time. So all the homeowners are going to be present. Sales rep gets there. All right, next process is this is how we install your roof. Here's what they expect from us. Set the standard. Hey, we know this is what's wrong. This is what we're going to do. Because we all know if you don't set that standard with the customer the day of the job, they're like, oh, what's this? What's that? What's going on here? Because they haven't been communicated to. The other thing I wrote down, the day Sean was speaking, and one of my favorite traits of a high performer is that they truly listen to understand, and they don't listen to respond. And one of my least favorite traits about anybody is when you're talking, and they already know what they're going to say. They're not even processing what you said. Doesn't even go through the brain.
Predisposition answer.
Just reply right away. Versus when you're speaking to a high performer, you will speak to them, and they will process what you said. And like you said, so I'm hearing this is what you want to be done this way. You're like, yes, or I hear your problem. Here's how you fix it. Versus, you just ignore them and just like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. And that's employment. Employee talking to coworker. Anybody in everyday life is just listening to understand. That helps your marriage tremendously. Helps you communicate with your children. Helps you communicate at work. Helps you communicate with the customer. It's just taking that 1 second, especially if you have ADHD like me and you want to blurt out something real quick and just chill for a second and listen.
And I ain't gonna dive no deeper. I just want to say this. It's a statistic that says only 37% of people listen when somebody else is speaking.
Nick,
how many people on this call? Only 30%. figure out who's listening.
When you listen to understand and not just to respond, it also gives you the leverage to hold them accountable. Right? Sure. So, right, I'm not going to role play with you, but you tell me, hey, Mr. Homeowner, so what I'm hearing is you like to be, I'm going to say something off. you like to be communicated best over Facebook Messenger. Is that correct? And then you say, yeah. And then I turn around and say, okay, that's a good communicator. A great communicator is going to say, so what I'm hearing is, as long as I communicate with you via Facebook Messenger, no matter where you are, what time of day, I'm not going to be waiting for a response. We're going to be able to move the ball forward and continue this process. Is that correct? Right? Because now you're using what is convenient to them to your advantage by saying, hey, I'm going to do this your way. And what I'm going to ask for that, it's just only me hanging. Still communicate with me. I think that's excellent, man. Hey, D, we're at 5 minutes left. I don't know if you want to open it up for some Q&A. I know we could wrap on this at midnight, but
yeah, because I have one more trait, but I'm gonna I keep it to myself because we done hit 5 already.
Dude, do you? I can go for another few minutes if you can, Nick. I can follow.
Because all I'm going to from here, I'm going to Dave and Buster's. So
you got the last trait.
The last trait that I said that top performers possess is they track it. Top performers know their numbers. Yeah. But let me read y'all this Deshaun GPT. Now they done coined it. They are always aware of their numbers. They don't just go with the flow. They keep targets and metrics to be great when it comes to their money, their numbers, their appointments, their follow-up, all of it. They know what it takes to get them to where they want to be.
I love that. We just did this team building in our company. We did it we did with all of our portfolio companies all in one room up in Jersey, but then I came back and did it with everybody at Hero Roofing. And one thing we did is we rated each department. What does sales think of office? Was office think of production? And if they're not a 10, what do they have to do to improve to get to a 10? And the one thing that I heard that I said was look at the data from the roof. Keep up with your data, but look at it with an honest mindset. Most people get reactive. It's in our nature to get reactive. It takes skill to not get reactive. To Deshaun saying, hey man, your closing ratio is 30%. What do you think you can do to improve that? Most people right away want to get reactive, but it's good to track your data, know your numbers, know where you're at, because we break down numbers to achieve goals. Our large goal at the end of the year, say you want to sell $2 million, what's that a month?
Yeah.
What's that a week? How many deals is that a day? And then be able to look at the data that hurts us to look at too. Like, what was our closing ratio? How many doors have we knocked? Why did we lose these jobs? And not be reactive about that and learn from it.
And if I'm really essentially going to shoot for 2 million, I got to aim for 230, because I know if I fall flat, I'm still going to hit my real number.
Yeah,
you got to know the numbers. I love that.
What is your big dream goal, and then what is where are you falling where you're still a high achiever and performing? It's crazy for I never want to see a salesman say their goal is $2 million and they sell $1 million. It's cool to see their goal is 2 million, they land at 1.8, 1.9, or they blow over at 2.2. So I think it's cool to have a huge goal, but to know can I put in the achievable work to hit that goal? If I'm gonna do 2 million, am I gonna have all year the time and the effort to be able to do what 2 million takes? Because all these traits, being a top performer, Deshaun, it doesn't matter if you're roofing sales or anything. I was telling my wife, it doesn't matter if we were in a cardboard box tomorrow. I'd find a way that day to start making money, make it happen. Nothing in this world, this economy, scares me now after what I've been through, what I've learned, the traits I face. I know that I can. My resume looks pretty good now. I can go anywhere and make it happen. So, and I think that's a trait of a top performer.
Yep. Amen. It's like the show Undercover Billionaire. They take these guys, put them in these random ass cities, no resources, and they start a business in 30 days, 60 days. And it's because when you got the traits of a top performer, everything that it takes to build something from the ground up. And I just want to touch on tracking it briefly. Then we can open up the questions. If not, we can get up out of here because I know my gang want to go play. So listen, and it's spring break, just for y'all who wondering, I'm taking my kids to Dave and Buster's at 9 o'clock.
I was sitting here thinking bro,
you spring break in Florida, dog. It's spring break. And when my kids got spring break, they party like people that get lit every weekend, dog. They be like, we don't got school tomorrow. We don't got to go to bed. I'm like, you know what? You don't got to, but I am. But so if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And my first sales manager used to say that shit to me. And I was so ignorant when I first got into sales. I used to be like, duh. Duh. You ain't at nothing. You hit it every time. Duh. And then it clicked like year 3. I'm like, oh, shit. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't got a target, if you don't know what it takes to get you to the number that you want to get to, you'll hit it every time. You'll never get there. And top performers know their numbers. I'm reading this book called Stop Bullshitting Yourself, right? Stop lying to yourself. And he had a guy that wanted to get to 500 threes in a year. So what they would do was every game he would shoot at least, I think it was 15 threes or something like that a game, maybe 9 to 12 threes per game. He got to take a marble, put it in the jar. He had to shoot those 15 threes per game, put a marble in the jar. Marble in the jar. Long story, end of the year, he ended up with 550 threes because he wanted to shoot 500. Ended up with 550. But how was he able to get to the 550? Because he tracked it. Every game, if he shot over 15 threes, he got to put a marble in the jar. Put a marble in the jar. So I know guys that tell me they want to make 150 grand a year. I say, well, what that look like? And they don't know. So we break it down from the macro to the micro. We take 150 grand, 160 grand. What's your average commission? This much. Okay. We take that 160 grand, divided by the average commission. Boom, that kick us out 60. Okay, we take that 60. We divide it by 12, depending on the market. I want to say that because some of y'all, like I live in Minnesota. I get it. You only got 7 months. So if you live in the South, you got 12. So we take that 60 divided by 12. It's like 5.6 or whatever it may be. In a nutshell, it's 6 roofs per month that need to be bought or sold if you're doing retail. So I'm like, okay, in a perfect world, let's say you live in a 50-50 world, or not in a perfect world, in an ideal world, you live in a 50-50 world, which means you need to at least run that, double that amount of appointments to get to that number. So we added up to 12 to 15 claims per month. So now we take the weeks. How many claims you need to get per week? They're like 4 claims per week. That's 16 claims per month, which will add up to 7 to 6 deals per 7 to 6 approvals per month, which will get you to 6 to 7 roofs per month, and that 2,500 to add up to like a certain amount. And it's like, you got to track your number. So what I tell guys do to make it tangible, go home, get a poster board, write 60 circles on this poster board. And every time you get a roof approved, color in a circle, color in a circle, color in a circle. Now you get to watch your goals get smaller. Now you get to track it. Now you got a vision that you see every day, and it's that much easier to get to your goals, right? So top performers track it. They know their numbers. They know what they need to do to get to where they want to be.
And you said you were deeper the other day. I know we're out of time, but you said the other day on this point, you said get your family involved and have them color it in, have your kids color it in, have your wife color it in for you, because then they're your champions. And a man can do a whole lot more when his son or daughter or wife is standing right there cheering him on. So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but that was a really important takeaway for me the other day about getting the family involved with it.
No, 1,000%, 1,000%.
Or a saleswoman could have their husband colored in.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're a woman salesman,
we won't go any further than that. It's 2025.
If you're a woman salesman,
no more options. All right, listen. Let's go to quick questions, man. Do we have any questions in the chat? Jared, you want to come on and facilitate?
If you're a woman salesman, take it one step further. Put how much money you make off every roof so your man can see that you the breadwinner.
There you go.
And right. Tell him he better do what you say.
That's right.
You better do what I say.
Everybody see the man behind the amazing live show. Not for nothing, guys, but this live show is pretty fire.
I enjoyed it.
The setup, the interaction. Bro, Jared, we appreciate you.
Yeah, I think it went well. The main
unsung hero, pun intended.
The main thing we need to know is we definitely got to get the T-shirt with the lemons and the orange juice.
I already made up in my mind that it's going out at the Best Hustler Live experience.
Yeah,
we give you T-shirts.
We may have a Deshaun GPT one too. We may have a DB GPT.
We got Deshaun GPT. We got Coach.
We need to look that up. Make sure I'm staying for anything else first.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of G's and T's up in there. I feel you.
Yeah, we do have an actual question here from AJ. If you want to take a look at there.
What's a good tip to get the attention of a homeowner before you pitch when your introduction and icebreaker don't get their attention? Nick, Sean, that's a good question. First of all, thanks, AJ.
As always, right? Y'all know we prefer enrollment. Get them enrolled. And if enrollment don't work, and what is enrollment? Hey, you heard about what's going on in the area? Hey, you know your neighbors, X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to give you a very strong piece of a lot of people don't like because people always want solutions. If they don't want to give you the time, it's probably not your customer.
Yeah.
Because I've learned people will listen to you, and if they don't want to listen to you, they probably not your customer. And I'm okay with that because conversation creates buy-in, presentation creates blockage. And if I got to convince you to talk to me, you're not somebody I want to talk to anyways. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? That's it.
I love that. Nick, you want to add to that?
Hey, my boy want a T-shirt. You feel me? We're going to get it made. I'll give you lemons, make orange juice with it, and let the world sit back and wonder how the hell you did it.
I mean, not much. I totally agree with Deshaun. I think knocking is the more you knock, the better you get at, and the more you're educated. But you're going to knock on doors that are going to be they're going to be known no matter what. They're just not your client. I think studying and knowing where you're at, knowing the neighborhood's important. For example, we'll knock a neighbor that gets knocked all the time, and I'm not going to go, hey, have you heard about the neighborhood? I'm going to stay to my script, but I'm also going to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm probably the 10th person to knock on your door. I want to understand why you haven't gotten this done before. Let them tell you, and then that's opening that discussion.
And let's put a distinction on that because what Nick said is phenomenal. But we get away from pitching and we get to investigating. Let's investigate why they haven't taken action. So now I'm not pitching them. I'm like, hey, Mr. Jerry, how you doing? Deshaun, Hero Roofing. Listen, I'm pretty sure you don't run into a few people in the area that do what I do. I know you're tired of us, right? You've been closing the door on everybody. But the thing about it, we've noticed everybody else in the neighborhood got new roofs. We noticed you haven't taken any action. We're just curious what stopped you from taking advantage of such a great opportunity, or what happened in the process that made you no longer want to pursue this. Now I can't get out of my face. I got to get some type of valid response, and now we can start unpacking and find the gap and try to close it.
Love that. That's fire. Sales reps who come out as the expert and control the conversation and process and don't come off as desperate for the sale. That's right.
Amen. You're right.
That's right.
1,000%.
Man, we appreciate you guys. We know DB got to take the kids and the gang out to where you going? Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, we're going to Dave and Buster's. Can I leave them with a quick little quote though that I really enjoy?
Please.
Somebody sent it to me and I thought it was pretty powerful.
Yeah, this is awesome.
A boy becomes a man when he realizes that he's responsible for his own actions and choices, and he must take ownership of his life and the consequences that come with it.
Say it one more time.
A boy becomes a man when he realizes that he's responsible for his own actions and choices, and he must take ownership of his life and the consequences that come with it.
I love it. That's a good one to take to bed, guys. Let that one linger. Sleep on that. Hey, don't forget, November 13th to 14th, Hustlers, actual live Academy members coming out for the 12th of private dinner in Atlanta. This is going to be amazing. Sponsored by Hero Roofing, Best Roofer Marketing, and Roof Hustlers. Tickets go on sale when, Deshaun? Monday the 24th?
March 24th, baby. 324. 8 times 3, 24. You ain't know. We at your front door, baby. Meet us at Atlanta.
Let's go, guys. BestHustlerAcademy.com. We appreciate you. We'll be live next month. We'll get it out on socials. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Stay blessed, baby.
Yes.